Hello everyone, Gemini is here. This is my account. As you can see, today I'm 556 days in Summer's World and my War Arena rank is finally G1. Yes, Season's 15 RTA has ended and I managed to get to G1 for the first time. As you can see here, I have my Okeanos chance marked to the Guardian reward already. So today I would decided to do the video because firstly I want to make a record for myself, like just to mark the milestone that I've been through to attain this G1 for the first time. And also I really hope that my video can be a reference material for people who are sharing the similar units and they're trying to do RTA, or for those people who just want to play similar playstyle in RTA. So for those who don't know about me, I play Cleave 300 multiple 300 set with Gemini, Poseidon, Okeanos, and Savannah, as you can see here. And more details about my monster build is here. I'm gonna share with you guys the rune of my monster, the units that I often pick, and also some situational pick. So we'll start with Gemini. My Gemini is on 301 speed set with 100 resistant build. I built him on 100 resistant because of Leo. I cannot always ban Leo because it really depends on what kind of pick the opponents had and what threat I need to deal with. So I have to put into consideration the fact that Leo may be in the battlefield if I bring a even if I bring a Gemini in and then Savannah as well. So with 100 resistant build, then he will be able to resist the attack by pushback of Leo. Of course, this is not the ideal build. The ideal build would be Swift Nemesis on a pretty squishy build, just so that the attack bar gain from HP loss will be enough to compensate or even outscale the attack bar pushback of Leo. So it's on a little bit of low accuracy side, but that would work just fine. Here are the rune on him. Slot 1, slot 2, speed, slot 3, slot 4 attack percentage, slot 5, and slot 6 resistance. I could make my Gemini faster, however, the follow-ups, in this case the Savannah, Poseidon, or Okeanos, they are not even 300 speed yet, so there is just no point in making it faster if my follow-up cannot move right afterward and have the chance to be cut. So here's the artifact. I pumped in extra accuracy from the artifact for his stripping ability. However, I'm not sure what skill will be going through the accuracy check due to his unique passive. He has this passive on skill 3 to help him to strip, but then skill 2 is a skill that I used more than often to strip the enemy, all of their units. But then this is the skill that carry out the action. So yeah, Come to us just never actually release what is gonna be going through the accuracy check. Maybe it's skill 2 or skill 3, so I would just decide to do both for him. And then the rest of the artifact substat doesn't really make sense. For the attribute one, I have some damage mitigation from wind. This is good. Again, I put Leo into consideration when I put the artifact into him. I prefer to have some crushing hit, extra damage, since Gemini skill 2 is a crushing hit regardless of attribute. However, I just didn't have the right artifact, so this is what I have for now. And moving on, next we have the Chiwu. Chiwu is on a faster set. However, it really depends on the situation, but I prefer Gemini over Chiwu just because of the AoE defense break with very short cooldown. Chiwu even though he can push back attack bar, if you bring him into tanky, slowish kind of team like more long Harmonia, etc., then he doesn't really do much because his damage is too little to erase the enemy team. He would be picked more into situation where I need to contest speed. Okay, anyway, here is his build. Is on a hybrid crit damage build with respectable crit rate. I don't want it to be too much since we have Miho. But then if it's too low, then the crit damage would just be a waste. The accuracy is on a low side again. And then I have, again, artifact to compensate for it. His rune is on the slot 1, slot 2 speed, slot 3, slot 4 crit damage, slot 5, and then slot 6 flat attack. This is here for the speed. So yes, if I can get attack percentage, he would do more damage. But still, those kind of damage output is nothing against those like tanky, more long Artemil Harmonia kind of comp. So yes, I would pick Gemini into that kind of comp more, and Chiwu would be picked into situation where I need to contest speed. Of course, if they have like multiple immunity buffers, then I would need to pick both of them. It really depends on the situation. With the current meta, with Molly, Juno, and then Seara on Revenge, I don't really need to pick 2 AoE strippers just because I don't have to. His artifact is here. As I said, accuracy for skill 3 to strips, and then some damage mitigation. Moving on to the next unit, we have Okeanos. As I mentioned, he's not on 300 speed set yet, and reason being I don't have that much of rune depth, and it's very difficult to rune. This is, I think, he would be my like 5th or 6th unit to be on 300 speed set if I try to rune him on 300 speed, and this is just rather impossible for me at this point of the playtime. So yes, here's his start. Everything is kind of acceptable. Enough crit rate, a little bit low in accuracy, but I cannot do anything about that because I speed chase on him. So here is his rune, Swift Broken, slot 1, slot 2 speed, slot 3, this is the 19 plus 4, nothing too crazy. Crit damage, slot 4, slot 5, and slot 6. You can see the reason why I put attack percentage on slot 6 is because of the 29 speed. And then due to, again, the lack of accuracy on Okeanos, I have to pump in more accuracy from the artifact. And this artifact I focus on skill 2 because personally I value skill 2 over skill 3 in terms of accuracy. If you look at this, then his skill 3 have maximum of I would say 40 chance to stun per hit. So even if he had max accuracy, the chance of stun is not guaranteed. So there is just no point of like putting like a whole lot of accuracy because you were just gonna miss this in the end of the day. You know how RNG works in Summoner's War. And yes, the attribute artifact, I focus on additional damage since his skill 2 and 3 does multiple hits, so it would scale really well of those additional damage. Moving on, next we have the Savannah. Savannah will move after Okeanos. I have just a little bit of speed gap, like 1 or 2. If you factor in towers and speed lead, then yes, it's only 1 or 2 speed. I can actually make her even faster than Okeanos, but due to the fact that I'm putting her on Swift Nemesis, and I don't really fam Necro, so the Nemesis rune kind of hold me back a little bit. But it's worked just fine for now. This is the rune. So slot 1, slot 2 speed, slot 3, slot 4 crit damage, slot 5, and slot 6 attack percentage. So about her artifact, again, I really try to maximize the accuracy on the main CC skill that I can get. So an extra of 14 accuracy is added in, and then a little bit of more crit damage to do extra damage. And then the rest of the artifact, just whatever I think that makes sense on Savannah and helped her to do more damage. Yes, and then moving on next, we have Poseidon. Poseidon is on a faster Swift set since he's on Swift Energy. Energy just happened to be like a 2 set because how speedy I have on those kind of rune, 26. Slot 2 here, slot 3 also 26. And slot 4 crit damage, slot 5, and slot 6 attack percentage. I build all of my CC unit, if possible, on speed crit damage attack build, just because I believe that beside the CC, I would like to destroy them as soon as I can to avoid the RNG factor kicking in. You know, like if you stun the Vela Duke and Viral Proc and put the whole immunity, and then my team gets screwed. So in that kind of situation, I just want to destroy them as much like soon before they can proc Viral. So here are the start. And then the artifact, again, I maximize on more accuracy for the main skill to CC, which is skill 3. And here is the artifact, just whatever I think that can help him to do more damage. I bring Poseidon into Molly Juno a lot since he cannot glance and he is water, so his skill is really crucial to control the enemy's team and buy me more time to kill them. So Oki would always be my first pick, and then it would be another stripper depending on the situation, either Gemini or Chiwu. But then, like as I just said, if they bring out on like Artemiel and Harmonia Mola, then more than often I would just pick Gemini and Savannah, because unfortunately I don't use attack buff and Savannah can only defense break on Artemiel if Gemini is able to land defense break on Artemiel for 1 turn first. So yes, that is what it is. I have other way to play around with Artemiel team, like I have Bomber or Ignore Defense, like Kahli here. Kahli is on a pretty speedy build, still does a lot of damage. I think he can do like 37k on a normal Artemiel. And that should be enough to one-shot him if you have a little bit of fluffer damage before that. So here is the start of the Kahli. Here are the rune. He's on Swift Blade, slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, and slot 6 attack percentage. Here are the artifact. Really focusing on like extra attack from the main stat, and then more crit damage is possible. And then yes, I do have damage dealt on water plus 5%. It is like it's just really a really bad roll, but sometimes I really need to risk and try to one-shot a water unit, and it should just work sometime. So beside Okeanos, Poseidon, and Savannah to CC and then do a lot of damage, I also have other options like Charlotte. Of course, based off the priorities, and the rune that I put on Charlotte will never be as good as the one I put on Okeanos, so that's why she's relatively slow to the other. I would pick her in if I need more wind threat, or if I get my Savannah outpick or Okeanos outpick or something like that. It really depends on the situation. But yeah, here is her start. As I mentioned, same kind of build I like my set in terms of building her. Speed, crit damage, and attack with this slot 1, this slot 3, and this slot 5. Artifact maximize on the accuracy for you know, like to land the thing, to push back the attack bar and whatever. And then extra damage. Since her skill 3 does multiple damage, the additional damage is pretty okay. And I don't have really insane additional damage artifact, so I opted for the second option, which is the damage mitigation from different elements, just for a little bit of survivability. And then we have the Shimitae. Shimitae is a very nice speed list sometimes because people pick Seara first pick like most of their time in this season. So I need other speed lead, and Shimitae offer a lot. He can strips and absorb 50% attack bar with his skill 3 and AoE skill 2 scaling off his attack speed, which is very nice. This is not the ideal build for him. As I said, I really just put leftover rune on Shimitae, but ideally he should be moving right after Okeanos and before Savannah. So around 295-96 speed if you can make it. So yeah, turn orders does really matter. However, I do have other other units to play around if I pick Shimitae in. So it works just fine with this rune right now. But then of course this is not the ideal build. Here's on Swift Blade. Slot 1, slot 2 speed, slot 3, slot 4 crit damage, slot 5, and slot 6 attack. And then for this unit, I don't really focus on the artifact just because I don't want to invest that much time farming for the perfect artifact for them. I would just kind of put some okay-ish, or not even, for the main start, and then some usable sub-start. Yes, and then we have the Rica. I don't build Rica in the traditional way, which is super tanky and high accuracy to leave on the table until the end and do a lot of damage, and then do a lot of dots. My Rica can actually do a lot of damage with high crit rate, crit damage build, still have very high accuracy to land the dot, and then respectable attack and HP in my opinion. Her speed is also pretty okay. Considering she's on a despair will set. I put will on the unit that is not on will, not on swift, because of the speed gap is too huge and the chance I will get cut in is too high. So by having some will, I can just secure myself some opportunity to still win the game. So here are the rune: speed, crit damage, and attack. Slot 1, slot 3, slot 5. This one again, she does multiple hit, so nice if I have extra damage on skill 3 and additional damage based off her other stat. And yes, damage deal on Y on win have extra 9%, which is pretty okay. But then I don't really focus on artifact for these units, as I said. So this is just what I have for them. The reason why I put Rica on a speed crit damage attack set, because I cleave, and as I said, I don't want now wait for the chance to, of the opponent via proc'ing. So I will just try to kill them as soon as possible, and on top of putting the dot, I can do some crazy damage. And sometimes if I face a if I face a Juno, I have a Rica in, I don't have to force ban Juno, just simply because the moment I can land defense break on the Juno, then Rica skill 3 can do a lot of damage on the Juno, and by adding in some extra damage from other units, I can actually kill the Juno off before she gets a turn and then heal back up from all the dots that I put on her. So yes, that is the mindset there. Then I have Verad and Ganymede on Violent. This is my Verad stat, also on crit damage build. Violent Blade, I cannot put him on Violent Will just because of the rune efficiency, I don't have it. And here is the start, speed, crit damage, defense 5 star. I don't farm dragon, I don't have the rune for it, so I just try to manage with whatever I have in my rune inventory. Slot 1, slot 3, and slot 5. So as I said, I really want to put him on will, but I just cannot for now because of the rune efficiency. I cannot get extra 12% of crit rate somewhere if I put him on will. So yes, his artifact is here. I don't even mark them yet because, as I said, I don't really focus on these unit artifacts. And then we have Gani also on crit damage attack build. Respectively fast because he's on violent due to his base speed being 113. This speed is okay on him, and he can and when I bring him into the battlefield, then the moment my unit land stuff like Okeanos land stun, or then Savannah land the attack bar pushback, and then Poseidon can land attack bar pushback, then he can move after without getting cut. Like the chance of him getting cut is like actually very small, and if I have like too slow units, and then the chance is just higher. So it is just how it is. And yes, as the rune speed, crit damage and attack, slot 1, slot 3 and slot 5. Really nothing too crazy here. I focus on extra crit damage for skill 1 and 3 because skill 3 actually does a lot of damage on crit damage build if it crits, of course. And yeah, additional damage since his first skill is a multiple hit skill. So yes, so I just showed you the 2 RNG factor, and now moving on, when I need to contest speed, which yes, this is a speed game, then I have some option to do that. The fast option being Spectra. I put honestly leftover rune on Spectra, but due to her insane speed base 126, this is basically a quadro innate into her speed. Yes, she can outspeed the enemy pretty easily. The only problem is that she can only apply the third skill here by maximum 75% chance, which is not guaranteed, and it's only work if the enemy does not have will on their team. So I only pick her into situation that I know the enemies really well, that they would not have will. Maybe like some Japanese cleaver that I met pretty frequently during the season, like Masaju, let's say, or if I rematch with an opponent that I know that they don't have will on their team. So yes, this is the Spectra. Even he's low on accuracy, I mean, but I have like extra accuracy here again. I put level rune on him, so I cannot ask for much of start, because the start is just mainly for the speed. Slot 2, I don't even put grinding gems in because he's only on the battlefield for one reason: getting the first using the skill 3, and then yeah, he can even die immediately after. Doesn't really matter anymore. And then defense slot 4, attack slot 6 for the speed, and then slot 1, slot 3, and slot 5. Yes, these are the rune. So moving on, next we have the Triton. Triton is having 100. Triton has 116 speed, and he is having 191 extras from the Swift set. This is the leftover rune, but I do put more love into Triton than into Spectra because Triton can use skill 3 to strip and skill 2 to silence. However, I don't have that many AoE defense breaker, as you can see in my monster box here, so I don't really pick him that much unless I really need to contest speed. The reason is very simple: with that defense break, he just doesn't do any damage, and even with 2 turn silencing, my team just don't do enough stuff to erase the enemy teams, and yeah, I will still lose because I run out of juice and they still have them. So yes, these are the rune. Speed, flat attack slot 4 for the speed, and then accuracy slot 6. Nothing. The rune is pretty mediocre, nothing too crazy or something. So yes, these are the artifact. Well, just whatever to have extra HP for him, and yeah, that is it. And then we have the Barbara. Beast Rider. Barbara is insanely good in this meta due to her. She has a nerf, but then her skill 3 is still insane. It strips the enemy and then it boosts its attack bar for the whole ally based on the amount of damage that she does. So that's why she's actually on a very fast set, 308. And she's also one of the reasons why I cannot put my Okeanos on a 300 set, because I spend love somewhere else. She has the higher priority, a respectable crit rate and enough accuracy, and a lot of attack for sure. She's on Swift Broken, speed, crit damage, and attack percentage, so 6. This is the 6-year anniversary rune, and I'm very happy about the rune. Slot 1, slot 3, and slot 5. She has extra accuracy and extra crit damage on skill 3 for her attack bar boosting ability. I want it to strip. The moment it strips, it does more damage, and with more crit damage, the moment it crits, it boosts the attack bar a whole lot, and make sure my team will not get cut. And yes, the rest just to focus on more attack for her. And then I have speed proportional to lost HP and speed increasing effect substat here, because Savannah can speed buff the whole team, and if they target the Barbara, then the more HP she lose, the faster she will be, and then she will just slap the enemy and do aggressive stuff. And finally, I have the Mina to contest speed. Mina is a little bit slower than Barbara in terms of speed on paper here, but if you factor in the towers and then speed lead, then she would, I think with her speed lead, then she would still outspeed the Barbara due to her insanely high speed base, 109, even faster than Triton. The same thing with Spectra. She will not work. Her skill 2 can push back attack bar, absorbing actually attack bar, but it will not work if the enemy team is on will. So she is a very situational pick. Here is her rune. Slot 1, 5-star. Slot 2, speed. Slot 3, slot 4, crit damage. Slot 5, slot 6, attack percentage. And then she always deals multiple damage, like at least 2 hits on the first skill and then 3 hits on the second skill. So additional damage skill while on her. And yes, I have a lot of additional damage here. I actually bring Mina into like when the enemy shows the Verde. If I don't want to commit myself to ban the Verde all the time, then I need to bring Mina in. They may ban her still, but then if she can get through, then her first skill has the ability to stun the enemies, and Verde nowadays more than often is on triple revenge, so no will, and with this she can stun Verde, and with the passive she hit twice, so the chance of stunning Verde is pretty high. I have her on pretty high accuracy for the same reason. I want to ensure the stun when the if it proc the stun, then the enemy will not resist it. And nowadays Verde is on 100% resistant build. A lot of Verde is on 100% resistant build. So yes, having high accuracy on Mina is important for at least for the purpose that I'm trying to ruin her for. And then when you talk about speed contesting, then speed lead is very important. I have Chiwu, Gemini, I have Shimitae, beside I have Seara. I don't often have the chance to pick the Seara. If I do, then could be because they first pick my Okeanos or they pick the Savannah and I have to play around with it. So I have Seara. I often pick it with Barbara since Savannah speed is not high. It's pretty slow, and I ruin my Savannah on violent revenge, not violent will. So I need Barbara to ensure the turn order that my Seara can move after other units without being cut. And here are the rune on her. Speed, crit rate, HP percentage, slot 1, slot 3, and slot 5. And then the artifact, I don't really love my Seara because my Seara misses a lot of bomb, and because people more than often would just like first pick Seara and I don't have the chance to touch her even. So yes, I focus on bomb damage and a little bit of extra additional damage based on speed, but this is nothing. The ideal artifact for Seara would be additional damage for both of the line. It would scale off like HP, defense, speed, and then attack. That would be the perfect artifact for Seara, but I just don't have that thing. I put my Seara on revenge because I bring Seara. Well, if I have the chance to bring Seara in, more than often, I don't know why, but it's gonna be against like Gianna, or well, Gianna is to break the comp Seara Gianna, right? Or against Hunsa. And against Hunsa, I don't even want to contest speed. I want to play around with it. And the easiest way to play around Hunsa is by not having a new will. And yes, even in Guardian, a lot of people, they don't rune their monster well enough to have like one speed off Hunsa or something. So yes, by having Seara off will and Hunsa just didn't do anything, and my team can get the turn after the Hunsa, but before other opponents' units, and then my team can still do the thing and win the game. So yeah, this is a Seara start, crit rate build, and then we have my only 33 speed lead. I don't have a Samot, so this is the Vanessa. I built her on a hybrid build. I want her to do a little bit of considerable damage, because the moment I bring her into the table, I actually have less damage output than I normally do. Again, I don't have a Samad. Samad would be like a better choice in a lot of situations. But yes, this is her start. Not super tanky, but okay-ish tanky. So that she can survive some hit, and the enemy, if they don't have resetter like Gani or Okeanos, then they would focus on Vanessa first. And yes, I would having her on a little bit of tankiness side, then I can buy more time for myself to do other stuff while they're focusing on my Vanessa. So she's on violent will, and then here speed, crit damage, attack, slot 1, slot 3, slot 5, and then defense for some extra defense. Yes, a little bit of extra crit damage for skill 2 and 1, and then here, yeah, just extra HP mainly. The substar, I don't think it even make any sense on her, but yes, this is what I have. And I put her on will because first, if I don't put her on will, people Gandhi have the chance to reset her. I don't really worry about Okeanos because more than often I have Okeanos in my hand. So yes, Vanessa has to be on will so that Gandhi don't reset her revive passive skill. And also because if I know that I go against a Hunsa, I wouldn't pick Vanessa anyway. I wouldn't try to compete for speed, just because I don't have to. It's not necessary. So yes, this is just how I run my unit, and I have in my mind that Seara and Shimitae is not on will. If I face Gianna and Hunsa, I can pick them and then ban their 33 speed lead. If or ban some other unit that I think is more threatful. And if I need to compete against something like John Hong, Hathor, then yes, Vanessa would be used because John Hong skill 3 doesn't need will or something for her to, like the moment she outspeeds, she basically just outspeed, and yeah, my team gets screwed. That is the downside of not having will. John Hong Hathor would be like destructive against my team, but yes, it is just what I have. And then this is the main unit that I have, Besides, I have some situational units I would like to share, and those situational units I built them based off like very niche situation. But I would still say the majority of the case I build extra unit is because of Leo and Verde. So I need to I need to bear in my mind that not all the time I can ban the Verde or I can ban the Leo, especially if they bring them together. Leo just disable the damage output of my Savannah and my Poseidon, and oh, Verde is just, if I cannot stun the Verde before I do AoE stuff, then Verde just revenge, like he keeps revenging, and yes, my team get destroyed. So I have some unit I would opt to ban the Verde more if I see Verde and Leo. If they show the Verde Leo early enough, then yes, I would ban the Verde. I would let the Leo through and I play around with it. Or if they have some more toxic comp like Leo, Raptor, Artemio, Molly, Verde, like yeah, if you think about the team, you don't even want to fight against them. But yes, in RTA I still have to fight some comp like that once in a while. Again, a lot of RNG is gonna factor in now, as you have to consider, oh, will the Artemel stunned? Will the Raptor put dot? Will it Vile proc? Will my attack on the enemy's team get glanced because of Molly passive, etc, etc. So yes, I built some specific unit like my Bastet. My Bastet is on a very slow swift build, but it is on Nemesis. It just has to be faster than other DPS unit like Kahli, Convenant, Lushen, because the moment I pick Bastet, then I pick it into Leo, and I want Leo to hit her. Well, more than often, Leo would hit a Bastet without will. Yes, and that's why I put her on Nemesis. The rune is not anything amazing, but then she had Nemesis. So the moment Leo hits her, she will gain attack bar, and yeah, her her artifact is also nothing. I would just put whatever I have. But if you notice, she had pretty high resistance, so she has the high chance to resist Leo attack bar pushback. And with Nemesis, and she's pretty squishy as well. If you can see, she's pretty squishy. And with with Nemesis and that fact, then the moment Leo hits her, she will actually get a turn, and then she boosts attack bar for my whole team to move right after, and then we have attack buff, and we can do massive damage. Then yes, I have, as I mentioned earlier, Convenant Bill. He's also situational when I need to one-shot something, but then against Leo he's pretty weak since he's water. And yes, but here is his start. He's on Rage Blade, speed, crit damage, attack, slot 1, slot 3, slot 5 here, and then yeah, artifact is just this one is more attack for him, and this one unfortunately is an HP, but I have damage dealt on dark and light, and then damage received from fire, which is, well, I mean, not important, but still Juno kind of thing, which still try to focus on my on my confidence. So it's nice to have that damage mitigation from fire. Then we have the Lushen. Lushen is on Swift Blade. These are the start. Nothing too crazy. And of course, I don't clip with Bastet, Draco, Lushen, so I don't need my Lushen to be super fast, since I don't try to make my Lushen being speed tuned to like 310 Bastet or something like that. So yes, by that I have like more room for more DPS output. And here are the rune: attack, crit damage, attack, slot 1, slot 3, and slot 5. Artifact is here. A little bit of extra crit damage for skill 3. I don't have anything better, unfortunately. And then attack for the main stat. And this one is just for attack main stat. And a little bit of more damage deal on top, so that I can kill Raptor, or hopefully can kill him. Yes, but then moving on to the most frequent pick against Leo and Verde kind of team, if let's say I let the Leo through, what I'm gonna pick to play around with him, then the most frequent pick I have is the Fengyan. Fengyan is very nice against Leo team because he can defense break, he can heal the ally, and with Leo passive, then he doesn't have to be fast, but the moment you hit the Fengyan, he gain attack bar. If you try to kill him, he gain attack bar and he will cut in, and he uses skill 2 to push counter attack, and then he will just land the defense break like everywhere in the battlefield. And yes, my other DPS unit can use that defense break to kill off units from the enemy's team. Very important. His 100 resistant build, because I don't want some random dot from Villager or some random dot from Leo to kill him. It's not really useful against Rica, but then against Rica I have something else I would mention a little bit later. But yes, here is this rune, Violent Will. If I bring things against Leo team, then I have 100 resistance, and if I could afford it to be on Will, I will put it on Will. HP, defense, and resistance. Slot 1, slot 3, slot 5. Not a lot of speed, but I focus on the tankiness. And then again 100 resistance. Panda, the Unfair, does multiple hit on his auto attack skill 1. So yes, additional damage is crucial. And I have extra defense based on the lost HP, which is nice because the moment he loses more HP, he actually does more damage, and it can turn the table sometime. And then yes, we have the God RNG Miho. Here are my Miho stat. She is on 100 resistant, respectable crit rate. I need to make sure I see crit all the time, even if it's a revenge hit or not. So yes, high crit rate. She has okay HP. I actually want her HP to be like 2 or 3k higher, because Seara bomb can kill her sometime if she's at only 20,000 HP. But then yes, I don't want Seara to one-bomb her, so I need Miho to be able to survive a bomb from Seara if needed. So that's why I sacrifice a little bit of attack for more HP. If not, I think I can get extra 500 attack. She would do tons of damage, but yes, what's the point if Seara just one-bomb her? Here's the rune, Vampire Energy. It's not on Vampire Nemesis, just because I don't have Nemesis resistance slot 6. Here are the rune, attack, crit damage, resistance. Slot 1, 3, and 5. The artifact, extra recovery for skill 1 to heal more. And then, yeah, the speed increasing, because I also bring Miho into a non-Leo team. So, speed increasing proportional to lost HP is actually important sometimes. And then, yes, just damage dealt on different element should be more like the extra damage deal on different element. This is pretty nice. I would like more life drain substat if I can get it, but I think damage deal is also fine. And let's say the team, they bring Quad Dragon Knight. That team is actually pretty toxic. Jaeger, Raptor, Leo, Laika, something like that. But then they have heavy single nuker. Then I have my Garo. This is the start on the Garo. Nothing much to say about him. Speed, crit damage, attack, slot 1, 3, and 5. The artifacts here, I really don't have anything to say about him because I actually don't. I built him, but I don't pick him that often into the Quad Dragon Knight team. The reason is pretty simple. They can Vile Proc and kill him. Yeah, that's it. I actually have my Light Golem build to go against those heavy single nuker there. So I wish I have a Laika, because Laika would be great in some of those situations. But yes, I have the Groggo here. Against Leo is on the table. Speed doesn't matter. My Groggo is on a Light Golem. I don't know how to pronounce his name. On defense, crit damage, and resistant. This is the other stat. So if you don't know, then his passive helped him to survive against those single nuker, since the damage of one attack won't exceed 20% of his max HP. So by having pretty low HP, not too low because then some multiple unit can just kill him easily, but having high defense, his attack scale of defense, I believe, yes, it's scale of defense, and he's on Vampire, he can hit the enemies and he'll back up more than 20%. Then that way he will kind of you can tell that he's immortal against those like heavy single nuker. The best one would be on Revenge, but then I don't have good Revenge to replace the Will. And yes, and his skill 2 even buff extra defense, self-up defense. So yes, he do not a lot of damage since that he's a nat 3, but he did do some damage to heal himself up and then be on the battlefield. And especially if you can have like some defense break somewhere, he can do like 10 to 11k with like the skill 1. Not a lot, as I said, but it definitely helped to win the game sometime. And then we have the Tesarion. Tesarion is very decent in this meta because a lot of the unit have passive skill like Molly, Juno, Raptor, Artemil, Leo, Verde, etc, etc. If you have a Light Desert Queen, congratulations, you mastered the game, but I don't, so I use Tesarion. This is the Tesarion build. Of course, it's on Violent and Will. He needs to Viral proc and put multiple Oblivion on different units. Sometimes it's still not enough, but yeah. So yes, HP slot 6 and slot 1, 3 and 5. He has extra accuracy, not skill 1 but skill 2. I think it's more for the defense break. He actually have pretty decent accuracy, so I don't think it is that much important. And then for the attribute artifact, I focused on damage mitigation as much as I could because I need him to survive on the battlefield. He's actually HP type, so I don't pump in a lot of attack on him because, well, the moment he put Oblivion, then he has done, I would say, 70% of his job, and it's acceptable, it's fine. Okay, then we have the next unit is the Perna. My Perna is on a very squishy build, I would say, but it's had almost plus 2000 attack. The Perna is here the moment I land defense break into, and then of course Oblivion with Tesarion on like those Molly and then Molly and then Juno and then Raptor things. Then Perna has the chance to just use skill 2 to one-shot them. Also, you know, this is like a god viral proc chicken, so yeah, she can viral proc and then yes, she can be destroying sometime. So yes, I have her built. She has 2 life. Unfortunately, I don't have skill up for her since I don't have enough Devilmont, but she will pretty okay when I bring her into the battlefield. Attack, crit damage, attack, slot 1, slot 3 and slot 5. So extra recovery for her, passive skills so that she can heal the ally up more. And then yes, the moment her HP goes down, her defense and attack goes up. And she does have some damage mitigation, but not really what I want because I want the water one. But it's fine. So yes, and then if I bring stuff into Leo teams, then I do need sustain sometime. And the first option that comes into my mind is the free-to-play Fran, the godly Fran. Yes, she's on high resistant build, not 100% because I don't have the rune for it. I do rune her on a speedy set regardless of Leo because I may just try to kill the Leo first, and by having decent speed, she can still do her job, like heal and then like buff immunity without like being too slow, and then the enemy just keep getting the turn. But yes, she's on violent will, speed, HP, resistance, attack, slot 1, 3, slot 5. Artifact, extra recovery for the second skill, and yeah, nothing much, like whatever I have. So she's here, but then again, people pick Fran a lot as well. So I have I need to build up, say, some alternative choices. I have the Triana. Triana, I bring it exclusively against Leo team only, so yes, speed doesn't matter. I put her on a crit damage build because I want her to do a little bit of damage, and then a little bit of accuracy for the sleeps skill 1. Violent Nemesis, because I don't want to be one shot by Leo Daphnis kind of theme, so yes. Attack, crit damage, HP, extra HP, and then extra recovery, and yeah, just extra HP. I don't even max them yet, and the substat doesn't really make sense. Slot 1, slot 3, and slot 5. And then finally we have the Anavel. Anavel is is on, I mean, Anavel is not only into Leo team, but I can pick her against Rica or something. You can see how Anavel wins in Summer's World Legend Tournament in season 15. Yes, she's very nice sometime. I have her on Violent Will as well. Speed, HP, and HP. Attack, defense, and HP slot 1, 3, 5. I don't have that many Violent Rune, as you can see, so the quality of the speed is indeed slow. But yes, they are. I would just pick her, like, I think this season I picked her like twice, so it doesn't really matter. She can just, yeah, I think she would just work just fine the way she is. And yes, I have skill 2 extra recovery here. This is the only reason why I'm using this support artifact. Yeah, the rest doesn't matter. I do have a little bit of additional damage since her skill 3 does multiple hits, but it doesn't really matter because, as I said, I pick her like twice into the battlefield this season, so yeah. And yes, beside all of these units, then I do have some units that I have built, but I don't really know when to bring them in, like the tractor. I can just show you quickly the rune, but like I would try to bring him into the battlefield next season. But yes, this is his rune, and then I just ruined the Antares. I've never used this orange unit before, but because a lot of people use it, I might just give it a shot, just yeah, for fun. And yeah, we have the doggo. Oh, how you call him? The bear, the red bear. He's pretty decent if you bring him against I build him to bring against Leo team, so speed doesn't matter. But then if the enemy's team doesn't have any immunity, or only have one, and you decide to ban immunity, then he can do some pretty decent job. I even max skill him so that he has 100% chance of provoke on his skill 3 here, and also skill 2 also provoke, and then his counter attack does extra 200% damage, so it's pretty decent. And then we have the Xian here. Xian is also a situational pick when they don't have immunity. He's a pretty okay, fast and okay-ish kind of build, like still do a lot of damage and can tank some hit. But then yes, I pick him like 1 or 2 this season, but it doesn't work out that well. It just didn't work out that well. So yeah, I think I have to skill him out first. But I have him built here. If I need to like flex into a bomb team instead of like a CC cleave, then I have Seara and Xian here. But yes, I think that is it. That these are all my units that I use for RTA, or I plan on using for next season. I hope you like the video, and I hope that is useful for you if you plan on building like similar units or bring like similar team comp into the RTA battle. I can show you some of my replay here, just by how I bring the unit into, like how I draft and everything like that. So these are my last climb, and of course I want all of them. So yes, here's how I draft. Like this one I draft you can see like I don't even draft the Savannah because I know this dude have Ragdoll and Leo. So yes, I draft around Ragdoll and Leo like immediately, and yes, I did win the game. But yes, so thank you for watching my video, and I hope to see you later in the future. Bye bye.